Hey, what's up guys? This is your girl B-Marshe. Welcome back to my channel, and this is my review for Put a Ring on It Season 2, Episode 3. Let's get into the video. Alright, so the episode, if you guys have never seen Put a Ring on It, it's its own show. It's on 2 seasons, and the show is based off all 6 couples, and, well, I'm sorry, 3 couples, and they go to this doctor named Dr. Nicole, and she kind of gives them an option of either put a ring on it or are we going to break up. And most of the couples at the end of last season, they all end up getting engaged, but most of them I think one of them towards the end up breaking up. So basically that's what the show is about. Either you're at a crossroads right now. One couple's been together for 14 years. That's ridiculous to be together that long and not be actually husband and wife. So technically you are married, but they come to the show to determine if they're going to put a ring on it by dating other people. That is the whole premise of the show. Keep that in mind because I'm going to talk about that again in a few minutes. So all of 6 couples are in Dr. Nicole's house or office, whatever you want to call it, and she tells them that this week they are going to be dating new people. Only person going on a second date is Darian. He is going on another date with Kyra. I think it's a Kyra or Kai, and he's the only person going on another date with her, and everybody else will be having new dates, and they'll be going to the same place at the same time with their dates. So let's start with Alexia and Darian. They are the couple that have been together for 14 years. So Darian, like I said, is going on a second date with Kai, and he's hoping that this process will help some level of trust that Alexia seems not to have in him. He used to be a rapper with, is it Crime Mob, if I'm right? I cannot remember who it was with, but she kind of has this inflated idea that he's still like this mega celebrity, and to be honest with you guys, I wouldn't know him if I bumped into him in a grocery store. Like, he was in a group way back in 2000s. It was a very popping time, but it's not current, and I kind of want her to stop kind of always having this inflated idea of like he's this mega celebrity. Don't get me wrong, what he did back in the day was still amazing because not my people reached that goal in life, but he's kind of like a normal guy now, and she kind of always makes up these little moments of where he's like, oh, do you know him? You know, he's supposed to be in the studio. And it's kind of like, I don't think he's there anymore. Like, that was back when you guys were dating in your early 20s. You guys are now in your late 30s, okay? He's not as known as he used to be, okay? This is not like T.I., somebody who's a little bit more older, like around his age. They're not like these people walking around today in time where they're more current, and they're still current, and we will know who they are. So, yeah, just treat him normal. he's not a big celebrity like that, okay? Anywho, so he lets Kai know about how the date is going to go tonight, about Alexia will be in the room with her date when they go to the restaurant, and she gets in her confessionals and says, first of all, she has a confessional, so that means that he's going on another date with her. That's kind of always a sign. But she gets in the confessional, she's like, I'm kind of like, I don't want to be a side chick. I kind of want to be like, you know, if you want to be with me, then be with me. If you want to be with her, then be with her. Miss, the whole point of this show is for you to be a side chick. That's the whole point of them coming on this show and dating other people that are not their partner. Why do you think, you know what? Why am I going to go down the rabbit hole? Oh, Jesus, somebody help her, honey, because obviously the sister has lost all types of sense and mind. Anywho, so Alexis gets there with her date. We meet her date. Her date name is Diz. I think that's his name, Dizzy or Dizzy. So she gets there with Dizzy, and during her date, they're kind of talking, and she sees Darian and Kai were already in the restaurant when she walks in with Dizzy. And she sees him and she's trying to focus on her date. But during her date with Diz, she keeps bringing up Darion. And she says it's because him and Kai are talking about her and she hears her name come up in the conversation. And that is why she's focused on him. But Darion is doing it too. He's so focused on the date with Alexia, he's not really paying to Kai at all. And this is his second or third time going on a date with her. So obviously he doesn't like to have men around her. He can't eat his food. He's too focused on her. He's more worried about what they're talking about. He even tells Kai that Alexia is intimidated by you. And she's like, why? Because I'm so pretty? No. Ooh, I almost called that woman her name. Bring it back, Jesus. It's Sunday. I'm like, no, why would you tell her that? That is so disrespectful and out of pocket. I would never, ever tell someone that I'm talking to, even though this date is supposed to be like me searching for another person in the process while trying to work out whether or not I want to be with my significant other. I would never tell somebody that they feel intimidated by you. That is just a recipe for disaster, and we see that later when he is no longer able to eat his food and focus on their date. He's like, okay, let's go. And Kai just kind of grabs his hand and walks out. And, Alexia's like, oh, we're going to let hands go. We're going to let hands go. Okay, we're going to let them hands go. And I don't blame her, but I kind of do want her to just, not react. I think if she stops reacting, she might get a better response from Darion than what she's looking for. Because I think he expects her to react. He wants her to react to it. And during her date, even Dizzy says, why do you let that bother you? And she makes a comment during their conversation saying that, he's supposed to be in the studio. He's supposed to be doing these things. And I'm sitting here thinking, one, either there has been some infidelity or some type of lack of trust in your relationship why you don't trust him at all. Or two, you have been with him for so long, you have lost yourself. Because that whole date, you didn't talk about yourself very little. You talked about, you worked for, I think, one of the basketball teams, like you do part-time there. You do a whole bunch of great things in your life. And you're so focused on talking about your ex, well, not he's not your ex, but about your man, that you're not talking about yourself. And Dizzy is trying to know you, Alexia, not about you and Darion, you. But you've been with him for 14 years, that you have lost yourself, and you don't even realize it. So I really just want her to get into a date and stop worrying about Darion and go into it with an open mind, with an open spirit, and just kind of really learn herself and really give the dates a chance, because she's not really giving them a chance. She's slowly but pushing out the door. She don't really dress really cute. This is the first date I actually seen her dress cute, and I was kind of really happy about it. And I was like, dress cute, look cute. You are a pretty woman. Look it. Put on the makeup, look beautiful. Act like you and Darion are not together on the dates. Well, don't go too far, but act like you guys are not together and actually really enjoy your date. And I think you'll get a better results out of this process if you really do put your guard down and just really trust the process. Last week, I tried to give Sean a pass with the emotional manipulation that he does on LaRonda. But this week, he tried it. Okay, so LaRonda has a date. First of all, she's in there ironing Sean's pants for his date. Always mama goose, I see. Always in mommy mode around him. Girl, he can iron his own pants. Okay, he's a grown man. I would not, you know what? When you start acting like a wife and you start doing wife things, they don't want to wife you. Okay? So, pull that back. You ain't his wife yet. Okay, you still his girlfriend. Alright? Now, I don't know you should be his girlfriend much longer. But anywho. Sean's not feeling what she's wearing. Okay? Now, LaRonda is a beautiful woman. She's nice brown skin, beautiful face, got her hair cut short, and she's wearing a nice dress, but she's not a very curvy woman, so she can wear short dresses and it looks really nice on her because she doesn't have all that, overly too much booty. Like, I got a lot of booty. She ain't got all that booty. She got a nice figure that's just nice for short dresses and works perfect for her. And it doesn't look short. And he's like, that dress is too short. You gonna wear it? That's what you're wearing? Sean, pull it back, honey. No one needs all that pressure. And she already said it feels like walking eggshells on you. She can't really express how she feels around you because you always doing too much. Pull it back. Boy, no. Anywho, so Sir James is her date. And Sir James is, he nice looking. I am not. Dizzy was okay for Alexa, but Sir James was nice. Like, he was nicely built, nice skin. You know, I was like, okay, Sir James. I like his name. Okay, your mama did something right. Okay. Anywho, so Sir James gets there, and he comes in the house, and Sean asked him to sit down. I was like, no, girl, you cannot let your man sit down. You have got to get your man and go, because you know Sean is a little insecure. Girl, you cannot be letting that man sit down. But okay, whatever. So he's like, you know, why did you start this process? He's like, well, you know, you never know where you find love. He's like, you ain't gonna find love. But he does things weird. Before Sir James could sit down, Sean does this whole, this is LaRonda, my love of my life, my queen, my everything. It's like, we get it. She is yours. Sean, you have got to have more trust. I don't know where in his body why he does not trust LaRonda. He's never said that they had any cheating allegations in their relationship, or she's done anything to make him feel like she would cheat on him. But the way he's acting like a man who is super insecure, and it's very unattractive to be that insecure. You have got to hold it together. He really needs some personal therapy by himself so he can deal with these emotions that I think is trauma from his childhood that he might be experiencing. But he really has to get a hold on that, because nobody wants that. No woman wants that. We want our men to be sure about themselves, and you really have to hone in on that. I don't know if it's the editing. I don't know what it is, but you're coming off strain too much. Like, you need to comment. And she been doing that for how long? Girl, I would have been left Sean a long time ago. But girl, you do what you do. Anyway. So, Sean gets his date. LaRonda goes to the restaurant with Sir James, and they're having a great time. They're talking, they're chilling. He has a great vibe about them. He's asking her great questions, and you can tell LaRonda's the type of woman that you can put her in an awkward situation and she's always gonna find a way to have fun. She kind of gives up that vibe of what I like to have fun. I don't like life to be too serious, and so I'm always going to find the humor in something. I'm always gonna find a way to make this an amazing experience. And she's having a good time, and so Sean walks in with his date. His date name was I think Brittany. Did I write it down? Let me see if I wrote it down. Yes, his date name was Brittany. He walked in with Brittany, and him and Brittany were kind of vibing on the fact that they're both entertainers. You know, she had to hit it with a melody. You know, she had to hit you with a melody because she on a TV show, and honey, she's trying to get signed. I caught that girl. And so they both kind of vibe with the fact that they're in the entertainment business. And Sean was like, you know, I want people to, you know, really understand. Well, he wants his woman to understand, you know, the life of an entertainer. You know, she works in the corporate world, you know, things like that. You know, entertainers, check ain't month to month. It's like month every so many months that I might get a check. Might be big, might be small, you never know. So she understood that because they're both in entertainment. And so, but he can't even focus on his date really, because he too busy wondering why they laughing over there. Why is she laughing at? What she laughing at? Why she laughing so hard? What they doing? It was like, Sean, boy, focus on Brittany. It's okay. Put trust that she is not going to cross the line. Anywho, LaRonda and Sir James were ready to go, so they got up to leave the restaurant. And he kind of puts his hand on the small of her back. Men do that sometimes to kind of scoot you along to get in front of them or whatever the case may be. And Sean looked like he was about to jump out of his goddamn skin. I was like, boy, calm down. He just was not feeling this whole touchy. And I was like, it's not even that big a deal. It's just a small hand on the back. It is not like he groped her butt. Now, if he groped her butt, I'd be like, okay, yeah, Sir John, you're doing too much. But it wasn't even like that. It was just like a small hand in the back. And I don't even think it hit her back all the way. It could have been a very light touch to where she said she didn't feel it. Later on, she said she didn't feel it. But, I mean, it could have just been a light touch. But, girl, Sean, you make a bitch want to drink, okay? You make a bitch want to drink. All right? You have to really hold it in. Hold it in. Come on. Let's move on to our last couple, Jessica and Eric. So we all know Jessica and Eric both say that they have trust issues, but I really believe it's more. Eric says he has trust issues, but I think he just saying it to say it. It's really more on Jessica's side. And this week it kind of showed why I know it's not on both sides. So Jessica has a date with Clarence, and y'all, Clarence is my type, just like my type, honey. He is fine, honey. Nice looking, tall, nice good teeth, fair skin, tatted up, nice hair. I said, oh yes, baby, yes, he is fine. I would definitely go on another date with that. And he's a bodybuilder, so yes, Dr. Nicole. Anyway, so Eric is, he's actually played it really cool when Clarence got there. The first time she had a date, he slammed the door in the man's face. This time around, he's like, oh, hey, what's up, bro? He come in the house. He let her answer the door. She wore her cat suit. She didn't do too much, but she still was a tight bodysuit. He came in the door, and he came upstairs. He's like, oh, hey, what you doing? They chopping it up, And he's like, well, y'all have a good time, He gave her a kiss, have a good time, baby, bye. And it was like, Eric said, I'm trusting this process, baby. I'm trusting this process, and I am not going to act a fool. I'm going to let you find whatever it is that you're looking for. And he actually, I was really proud of him. I was like, come on, Eric, you came in this, and you were like, I'm secure within myself and in my lady. So I'm going to let her have it. So when Eric has a date with a girl named, let me find her name. I wrote it down. It's Tynesha. Oh, I want to say it right. I think it's Tynesha. I might be saying it wrong. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm so sorry. Anywho, he has a date with Tynesha. When Eric walks in with Tynesha to the restaurant, Jessica was a little thrown off at first, and I was kind of like, girl, why? Literally, Dr. Nicole told you this the beginning of the week that you're gonna be having a date in the same restaurant with your partner in their date. And she was like, I was like, what? Oh, they here? Oh, I was like, girl, did you forget already? You got a little short this span up. Anywho, so she was thrown off on her date for a second, and her focus was off on Clarence, which I don't see how it could be off on Clarence because that man was born. Anyway, how your focus was thrown off on Clarence is worried about Eric and his date. And Eric sat down with his date, Tynesha, and he was just very in awe of her. They had a great conversation. They're vibing. They're laughing. They're talking about, I don't know really what they were talking about because I stopped listening. But they were just talking about a whole bunch of different stuff, and he was being very open and honest. He was just having an amazing time. And you could tell he was having a good time. And Jessica was over there a little heated. She was getting a little annoyed, and her Clarence started to notice it, and she was like, you know what, I'm ready to go. She kind of was ready to go, and so they got their things and they left. And she was hoping, like she was leaving, that he would notice. And he was just over there. Eric was having a great time. He didn't even notice she left. It was like, okay, bye. This is like another couple leaving the restaurant. Ain't got nothing to do with me. And I was like, this is what you're supposed to. Your goal was to focus on your date and not let what's ever going on your partner's date distract you. And she couldn't do it because trust issues. When Eric gets home, Jessica asks him about his date, and he tells her that Tynesha gave him the best conversation he has ever had. And she was highly offended to the point where he's like, well, I'm just saying, she gave me as like per the best conversation I ever had. And when she asks him how he felt about being there when she left, like how she felt about when she left, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't even notice you left." I was engulfed in the conversation, like she had me in a bubble, and I was focused on the conversation. And she starts to cry, and it's like, you're missing the point, Jessica. The point is that he's trying to tell you that you are focusing so much on your looks and your body that you're lacking in the conversation that he's asking from you, and it's all surface level, and you need to go deeper. And a lot of times with these beautiful women, the girls who go after the men who used to be in the NFL, because he used to be in the NFL, that they think, oh, my beauty is going to capture him. It might capture him, but it ain't going to keep him. You have got to make sure you have some depth to you and actually have a good conversation that you can hold, because obviously you're not holding a conversation long enough for him to find interest. And it's not saying he's losing interest in you. He's saying that I want this from you as well. He actually kind of said that to her. And she's so focused on the fact that I don't want another woman to give him something that I can't give him, or give him something that I thought I was giving him. It's okay. He's telling you what the problem is. Fix it. That's all it is. It's so simple. You're going way too deep and way into your mind, and you're so focused on him leaving you that you're not focused on how to able to fix your relationship. Girl, I should be a damn therapist. Anywho, let's get on to the session with Dr. Nicole. All the couples have all went on their dates, and now it's time to talk to them about, how it all went. So first up is LaRonda and Sean. And okay, I was watching some other people's reviews, and they all said they thought Sean was playing. I think he was serious, so I'm gonna take it how I took it. Okay. So when asked how his date went, he said he was focused too much on worried about LaRonda, and that he believed that she didn't even like the date that Dr. Nicole set her up with. I mean, she don't like guys those with nice cars. She don't like guys with big muscles. And Dr. Nicole says it sounds like technical control. So basically, it sounds like you're just trying to control her. And how are you going to speak for her? She haven't said a motherfucking thing. She just sitting over there looking at him like. Now, she had this kind of simple look on her face. I would have one of these. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Look. Last time I checked, my mouth worked. So maybe I didn't have a good time. And when I asked LaRonda how they went, she's like, I had a great time. Like, how you gonna tell me I didn't have a good time because I don't like certain dudes that look certain? That man was fine. Anybody would like him, okay? He was nice looking. Boy, Dr. Nicole asks Sean, does he trust LaRonda? And he says yes, but. And she's like, yes, period. Thank you. Yes, period. There shouldn't be a but behind that. If you trust somebody, you trust them, and you not need to explain, but I don't trust the guy. No. That means you don't trust her. So you need to trust that she's not going to let anything go too far that she will feel that you're uncomfortable with. And the problem is you're so in your head worrying about what might happen instead of focusing on what is. You have really got to get that under control. Let's move over to Alexia and Darian. So Darian says that he had a bad date for him because he couldn't focus. Okay, he was too busy focused on what's going on with Alexia. He kind of had this raspy voice. It's not that raspy, but he could focus on what's going on with Alexia. And Alexia says when Darian was leaving, it looked like they was getting ready to go to the hotel by the way she was holding his hands. And he was like, what am I supposed to do? I'm my hand like this. I'm like, I ain't doing that. She hold my hand. I ain't holding her hand. He's like, what am I supposed to do? Just like set my hand back, be embarrassed the girl. You embarrassed me by telling her, let my hand, no hands. Darian, now you know. You shouldn't embarrass the heifer. But the problem is, Kai felt comfortable doing that because you've already established that Alexia has some insecurities about her with him. And you were saying this because she knows my type. That's giving her a window open that I can disrespect her and you're going to be okay with that. That's a problem. Rein it in. Okay? Yes, she was holding your hand, and yes, you should have snatched your hand back and said, yeah, let's not do that. That is simple as that. You ain't got to be too rude with it. You can be simple as, yeah, let's not hold hands. Let's not be disrespectful. My lady is still sitting there. But Darion, always a man's man. play it for Himalayas. Okay? Anywho, so, Dr. Nicole says they are still not trusting the process. And they need to stop trying to control their partner. Now, she does get on Alexia about, this whole hand touching thing. Because, technically he's on a date. So holding hands should be a big thing. And she should be more focused on her date and less on Darion. But like I said, they've been together for 14 years. That is so hard for her to get out of that mindset. And she finally realized, I really have to take this process serious. And I need to start dating these men for real and stop just kind of playing in the process. Start dating and I might be able to get what I'm looking for out of him. That's all. So I'm glad she kind of came to a realization. Let's hope that she applies it, because you can think it, don't mean that you're going to apply it. Okay, so our last couple was Jessica and Eric. Jessica's had a good time on her date, and Eric said he as well. When asked about what he got from the date, he said a deeper meaning and not talking about basic things, more so about growth. So what he's saying is Jessica doesn't talk about anything that's like important. Basically, like, probably celebrity drama here and there. I guess they don't get too deep. They might get deep for like personal stuff, but like they don't have deep meaning conversations. And he's really starting to look for that, and he wants that. And he also says he also says she wasn't his normal type that he will go for, but he's learning that looks do not always matter. It's not all about the looks. And that's a really important lesson, because Jessica pipes up and she's like, well, that's all he had to work with, is the conversation, because I'm always talking about looks and sex. And Dr. Cole gives this analogy after Jessica says that, and it says something. I broke it down to something that I could understand, because the analogy was kind of all over the place. I didn't really get it. So I said, it's one thing to know your partner, it's another to think you always know them, because your partner is constantly growing. That's what I think she was saying, because she said something about painting and this is green, this is blue, or I didn't get it. But that's kind of sums up what she was trying to say, is that Jessica, just because you know his type and just because you know what he is looking for in a woman, the looks and stuff like that, doesn't mean that he's always going to be having that same mindset of, I want a woman to look like this and act like this. Things change, and yes, you can fall for somebody who is giving you great conversation, because a pretty girl might be pretty, but if she ain't got no depth to her, she only gonna be pretty for so long, because looks fade. Trust me, baby, they fade real fast. That's why people got Botox. Okay? Anywho, Dr. Nicole asks them about if they're gonna go on a second date. So she goes down the road. Darion is up first. He says yes. That makes a third date for him and Kai. Alexia does feel some type of way about it, and like I said before, she's starting to realize that she needs to focus on herself and less on Darion. But she does not want to go on a date again with Desi. I don't think she was really attracted to him like that. Then we go over to Eric. Eric says no, because he still wants to be physically attracted to his date, even though he wasn't physically attracted to her. I think she was pretty, but it's him. I don't think the girl was attracted to him either, because Eric ain't that cute to me. But that's my own personal opinion. Jessica says yes, because girl, Clarence was fine. Okay, he was fine. And LaRonda and Sean will answer that question next week. But LaRonda does make a statement that she is concerned about Sean's feelings. And like I said, he makes her feel like she has to consider everything about his feelings because of how he acts. He is emotionally manipulating her into saying things like yes or no, and he puts in this whole big act. And I really think she wants to go on another date with that man, but she kind of knows that Sean might have a connection if she does. So who knows? I'm hoping that she goes with her yes and not with a no, but we will find out next week what she did. Anywho, guys, that was the end of the review. Whew. Girl worked hard on that one. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm your girl B-Marshe, and I will see you guys next week with another one. Mwah.